Hello friends and fellow wealth seekers, welcome back to a new portfolio update of my crowd lending portfolio for November 2019. I blog at investmentjourney.eu primarily about financial independence and through crowd lending specifically. So let's get right into it. I'll skip the intro. My crowd lending income for November was 1,246 euros, up by 66 roughly, and a great annualized return of 16%. This is a new all-time high, which I'm very pleased with the result. Most platforms performed as expected, the exception being Viventor that performed above my expectations, which is really great. In November, 2 projects I invested in exited, one at Crowdester and one at Wise Fund. For both platforms it was my first scheduled exit and it all went down smoothly. So all in all, a successful month. Then I deposited 5,600 euros, no withdrawals. And in December I'm expecting another all-time high passive income, primarily because I'm expecting 2 partial bullet payments from Crowdester, totaling to roughly 250 euros. So that is on top of any income that I've been getting in the past from Crowdester. So my first goal of a monthly passive income is 1,500 euros. That means that I'm now at 83% towards this goal, plus 4% compared to last month. Then this is the income table. So you can see 1,246 euros passive income, annualized 16%, current portfolio value of 107,000 euros. The chart, and let's go into the platforms then. So Crowdestate is the first platform I will discuss. Income was only 3.52 euros, down 90, annualized return of 1%. My income from Crowdestate took a nosedive in November. Most Crowdestate projects come with partial or complete bullet payment repayment schedules. So this is why my income is so low for November. No projects finished. 2 projects are scheduled to exit in December, and I hope this goes down smoothly. But given recent events at Crowdestate, I'm not convinced it will. Multiple projects are struggling lately, resulting in payment delays or a need for loan restructuring. Unfortunately, uncertainty prevails, and several investors have raised their voices and expressed their discontent with how Crowdestate handles the communication. Time will tell how all this will play out. I have a stake in 3 projects that are currently facing difficulties. So, fingers crossed, but it is not looking that great right now at Crowdestate. So my main focus now is the 2 projects that are exiting in December. See if everything goes well there. Then on to Mintos. Income 81 euros, down by 40. Annualized return 12%, 76. I'm only partially satisfied with Mintos in November. Annualized returns are on par, but it appears the recovery of interest rates has come to a halt. It was roughly like 10% for a while, so it's up now in the range of 11.5–12%, but it's only a handful of loan originators, so it's difficult to diversify in this return segment, and this is sort of what I'm aiming for at Mintos, 11–12% more if possible, but that's not really possible lately. So for now, I will hold and see if the holiday season changes things. In addition, recently the amount of problems with loan originators is pretty much off the charts. Payment struggles over the summer with A40. Then Rapido Finance completely defaulted on its payment, followed by Metro Credit having its license revoked in Russia. And now the latest problems is Monego and a branch of EU Credit in Kosovo have their licenses revoked as well. I hold modest positions in both Monego and EU Credit, and we'll see how things play out. Before starting to record this video, it has been announced that EU Credit will honor their group guarantee, so the that appears to at least make sure that the investors will get their money back for sure. And then at Monego there is a slightly different arrangement, but also there some very reassuring measures have been taken that investors will get their money back by Monego. A third party has stepped in. So that is fairly good, but still like a lot of problems over the last, let's say, 5 months, for less even, probably 4 months at Mintos. If you're still interested in becoming an investor with Mintos, there is a link here and you can gain 0.5% cashback for the first 90 days of investing. The drop in income is primarily because I withdrew a couple of months ago, so 80 euros is pretty much what I was expecting for the month. Then on to Groupier, income 121 euros, up 11, annualized returns very healthy, 14.5%. So yeah, it does get a bit repetitive. I think I say it pretty much every month, but another solid month with Groupier. The platform keeps delivering, no issues at all since starting investing with Groupier, so highly recommend this platform actually. The first development project, Primo Invest, which I invested in through Groupier, successfully exited in November, further solidifying my trust in Groupier. In October, Groupier published their loan originator ratings. It's great to see the platform sticks to their word, albeit a bit later than originally planned. Shortly after, the loan originator with the lowest rating, which was Monify, left Groupier. It's speculation if the two are connected, but it does stand out. Then Groupier added a new loan originator in November from South Africa. It's Lime Loans. A 1% cashback campaign is running until the 15th of December. The conditions are invest at least a total of 1,000 euros in projects by Sputnik, Platforma, Planeta Cash, Lion Lender or Epic Cash until the 15th of November and get a bonus by the 20th of December. The investments can be split between loans and loan deals. This campaign came at a really good time for me, considering a good amount of cash was tied up in the Primo Invest development deal. That has now been received back on my account, and I'm now reinvesting it in this cashback campaign to get the full benefit. Then Groupier fairly stable. Just over the summer there was a cashback campaign which showed its effects, but other than that, really good platform. I enjoy it. Then on to Investio. Income 137 euros plus 12 or 13, annualized 20.5. Investio continues to operate like clockwork and provides excellent returns. I'm very comfortable and I plan to keep increasing my stake with the platform for a good while. Another project I invested is due to exit in December. Actually, by the time I'm now recording this video, it has exited successfully, so mini test case passed. Investio launched a handful of projects in November. I deposited €1,000 and invested in 2 of them. One is the Vikingu housing project in Jurmala, and financing of a refurbishment hostel in Riga. So both projects run for a year and will return 70.9 and 19% respectively. So very interesting projects. Excited to see how it goes, but Investio has been delivering very well on their projects and payments. If you are interested in becoming an investor with Investio, there's a sign up link and you can gain 0.5% for 270 days. Then income keeps rising. I keep adding a bit, but it's a very comfortable platform to be with. Then a Fast Invest, income €11, down a bit, annualized still 30.7%. Returns are as expected. In November, Fast Invest introduced Icelandic loans to its platform, and yet again the loan originator was disclosed. This is the second time in a row the platform discloses the name of a loan originator, and it's the Icelandic loan originator e-commerce 2020. This is another great step. I hope other loan originators will soon be disclosed as well by Fast Invest. Until that time, I do not plan to increase my stake, even though the platform has been running smoothly. And I actually would be interested in adding more, like maybe even significantly more, if the platform steps up its transparency, but that hasn't really happened ever since I started investing in March. Then on to Swaper, income €97, up by 15, annualized return roughly 13%. Set and forget is the motto with Swaper. A solid month despite cash drag hampering returns a bit more in November compared to prior months. It has been hovering around the 10% mark. Swaper's promotional campaign might be one of the reasons the platform reported its active investor base has increased 12% in October. I'm keeping an eye on cash drag, but I see no reason to start withdrawing at this time. Cash drag has always been a bit of an issue with Swaper, but this is the first month where, for me at least personally, it was more than I wanted, or that I was expecting. And that caused my returns to be 13% instead of, I think it was 14 last month. Income looking good. Then on to Viventor. This is maybe the main player for this month, so let's get right into it. Income €95, up basically doubled. Annualized returns 28.4. Yeah, I know, right? So what just happened there? I didn't expect the impact would be this big, but all the loans in my portfolio from loan originator Atlantis reached the buyback stage. Because Atlantis also pays interest as a bullet payment, I received 8 months worth of interest in one go. That boosted my monthly income significantly, but it is one-off. So expect my annualized returns to normalize around the 13 to 14% mark again in December. Then slightly different topic, but I noticed Groupier rated Monify with E, and this was the lowest rating out of all their loan originators. And Monify has now left Groupier. Through Viventor, I'm also investing in Monify loans, and for this reason I decided to reduce my exposure a bit and sell a few loans on the secondary market. And here you can see Viventor fairly steady. I withdrew a bit here, decline, and then boom, doubled compared to what it was last month. but one-off, as I said. Then RoboCash, income 24.5 euros, up 1.6, annualized returns, which are pretty high for RoboCash, 14.7. Returns caught up after a few months of lower returns. A few of the 3-month installment loans finished and paid out interest for the entire period, hence why income and annualized returns are fairly high. Like Scraper, RoboCash is simple and hands-off as it gets. The one downside is the fixed interest rate of 12%. One could argue there are better opportunities out there, but I'm still enjoying investing with RoboCash. It's very uneventful, so it's not much going on there, just 12% roughly that you can expect if you start investing through RoboCash. Then CrowdEster, income 142 euros, up 31, annualized returns only, I say that within quotes, only 9.7%. In November, my first project with CrowdEster successfully exited, and it was Warehouse Rigs 2. So this is the one. It was, as you can see here, loan repaid, 19%, was for 9 months. I'm glad to see the project went smoothly, as this boosts confidence in the platform. Then income is up by 31, but annualized returns remain low, mainly because more and more projects have moved to a payment structure that does not pay monthly income. So like a bullet or a partial bullet interest payment. The first partial bullet payment will be received in December, and I expect this will result in my next all-time high monthly income. As I said at the beginning of this video, I expect it to be roughly 250 euros on top of what I got last month probably. So I would think maybe between 350 and 400 euros of income with CrowdEster in December. In November, I deposited 2,000 euros, and I spread the amount over 4 projects, each yielding at least 18%. You can see the details below, but needless to say, CrowdEster is one of my favorite platforms. If you're looking to start investing with CrowdEster, you can consider using my link. It gives you 0.5% cashback for 180 days. Then the projects, so War Hunt, which is a movie, 18 plus 12, which is conditional, the last 12%. Then Old Town, the construction project, also 19%. Then a mortgage-backed financing company, 18% for 24 months. And this was pretty interesting, a consumer loan portfolio acquisition, 12 months, 24% returns, very interesting. Income, smooth. Then on to Quetzal, income 323 euros, up by 47, annualized return around 22%. Quetzal is no longer the largest chunk of my portfolio because CrowdEster has taken that spot, but the platform is still on the first spot in terms of monthly returns, another steady month of interest payments. However, and I'm going to add more than just the 3 instances, but in November 3 instances worth noting happened. The project called Marina Code SP got cancelled, and investors received their principal payment back onto their accounts. The reasons were multiple, but one stood out, and that was unprofessional approach along with incorrect data provided. I'm glad to see Quetzal took the appropriate action, but it makes me wonder if this shouldn't have been spotted in an earlier stage. Then Quetzal also has a new CEO called Maxim Roitovs, another fairly young guy. The last CEO, Albert Savers, got an offer elsewhere. The terms and conditions got updated. which left me with some questions as well. But early December also, there was an article published by Explore P2P, and it basically questions a project from Quetzal, which is highlighted as a potential scam project. Obviously, there was some uproar in the Facebook groups and in the P2P environment, and Quetzal responded to that first with a statement, and then later on with a with the announcement that an independent auditor was going to clarify the situation, and that both management of the project affected as Quetzal agreed to that. It's the Aalborg petrol project, which I invested in myself as well. So there's that, and that obviously is reason for concern, but I decided not to. I don't think a panic mode is helping anyone, especially because this move, I think, which is the right move by Quetzal to appoint the independent auditor, will help clarify the situation, and perhaps it's not as bad as it currently looks, but it doesn't look very good. Then on the terms and conditions, I sent an email to Quetzal about the last 2 changes, but so far no reply. Until that happens, I'm only reinvesting interest. The terms and conditions state the following: the portal operator, well, Quetzal, does not perform any due diligence of the borrower or the project. Very, very, very concerning, very confusing as well. It sounds worrying, and I would like to have it clarified. I also don't understand how that phrase is a viable business model along with projects that come with a buyback guarantee, so it's very confusing. And also, just several days ago, Quetzal announced that they were gonna rephrase this sentence, but that this is not that the terms and conditions will get updated again. So all in all, a lot happened with Quetzal, and mostly it just doesn't look very professional, and hence I'm more hesitant to keep investing with Quetzal. But then again, I've also decided not to panic and just see what happens over the next couple of days. There is always the buyback option of getting 90% back on your investments. You basically lose 10%. I could activate that and get out of Quetzal with basically no damage, but also it would cost me 10% of my portfolio, which is basically what I've earned so far. So thinking about it, but not doing any steps at the moment. Then, before all these announcements, I transferred another 500 euros to Quetzal and invested in Spielhood Twin House for 19% returns. That is this project, comes with a buyback guarantee. Then the platform is planning an upgrade and has added a countdown functionality for new projects similar to the one Crowdester has been using. It's a step in the right direction, at least from a usability perspective. Like, if you still want to become an investor with Quetzal after all that, 0.5% cashback for 180 days, and there is a promo code you can use to get 15 euros sign-up bonus. Yeah, well, and maybe just to emphasize that, the good and the bad as well, like, so far every interest payment and every project has delivered exactly as was expected. So no issues with late payments or anything. It's just the due diligence on projects and the red flags that some of the projects have raised is more the cause of concern right now. Then on to TFG Crowd, or the finance group Crowd. Income 96 euros, up by 13 or 14, annualized return roughly 20%. Take this with a grain of salt, but it's still high double digits. Interest received is exactly as expected, and attractive new projects are being launched periodically. I deposited 1,200 euros in November and invested in 3 projects. Annualized returns is a bit skewed, mainly because of how I calculate it, but in reality it's roughly 70%, which is still really, really good. Like Crowdester and soon to be Quetzal, the finance group Crowd has chosen to implement a countdown functionality. I'm a bit disappointed it came at the expense of showing the interest rate, so hopefully this will change soon. Displayed below are projects I invested in and ones that will be launched shortly. I plan to publish my review on this platform after I receive feedback from the platform on a bunch of questions. I actually have gotten that just yesterday, so I can go through it and keep working on my review. Then the projects I invested in, so it's a cosmeceuticals project at 90% interest rate, a indoor playground for kids, 18%, and a health product, it's Navy miso preparation, 17 oral rounded 18% returns, and soon to be launched a restaurant and bar project and a real estate project in London. So that is coming up. So far it hasn't launched yet. So I've discovered this platform in April and gradually have been adding more funds to the account because I like what I'm seeing. Then Monetera, income 45 euros, up by 12, annualized returns roughly 17%. Monetera successfully exited the project transportation of lumber on November 1st according to schedule. It's always helpful to see projects successfully finish. It builds trust for new and existing investors. In December, a new project involving the same company was launched, and I plan to invest. This is the one, transportation of lumber. 2, same interest rate, longer duration this time. I reinvested the return principal and interest and deposited another 500 euros in November that I invested in the self-service car wash. 2 projects are currently open for investments up to an interest rate of 21.1%. The projects are displayed below. So this one's still open. I invested 500 euros. This one as well, same thing, 500 euros. If you are considering opening an account with Monetera, you can do it through my link and earn a cashback for not 90, but 360 days if you use the promo code Investment Journey. It's valid for 25 new investors. It's currently still valid, most definitely. Then this is a project that finished, transportation of lumber, and discovered the platform in July, and have been increasing my stake ever since. Then Wise Fund, income 70 euros, up by 5, annualized 21. The scheduled project exit went smoothly. The principal amount was received back, so well done Wise Fund. Annualized return is distorted a bit, 21 is too high, but it should smooth out over time. It's more likely to be in the 18 to 90% range. If you calculate it from a daily perspective, Wise Fund launched 1 attractive project in November, and I invested 400 euros. There have been problems lately when depositing funds, and the company is requested to not transfer any funds for the moment. And then quickly added that our patience will be rewarded with a bunch of attractive projects that are in the pipeline. Despite these technical hiccups, I'm still very pleased with Wise Fund. It just has now taken a while for the newer projects to be launched because of these depositing problems. Signing up with Wise Fund through my link provides you a 0.5% cashback for 270 days. This is a project that was launched in November, so it's an increase of lease and rent equipment, and it comes with an 18.5% return. Then onto my savings rate. Savings rate for November was 72 or 73%, which is down a bit compared to October. I'm still very pleased. Over half of my expenses relate to seeing my loved ones over the holidays, and that increases happiness more than money can ever do. So still, I didn't spend much. It's mostly like flight tickets. My target for the year is 75%. However, this is unattainable at this point. Too late in the year to really do much. My year-to-date savings rate is 68%, which is still very solid. However, I have decided to stick to the same goal next year as well, and keep pushing. So the goal for next year is 75% still. See more details about my savings rate on the savings rate page itself. Well, decent graph, definitely investing or saving more than I spend. Then the conclusion from this portfolio update for November. It's been a month with lots of good and some bad. Passive income was excellent and resulted in an all-time high. Savings rate was on track. Plenty of interesting investment opportunities were launched. Successful project exit at Crowdester and Wise Fund. But on the flip side, I have concerns related to 3 crowd estate projects and several loan originators at Mintos. And added to that now the platform Quetzal itself, which just very recently got written about by Explorer P2P. To summarize the month, all-time high passive income, savings rate on par. Mintos struggles with low-ish interest rates and 3 originators having their license revoked. No improvement on crowd estate travels and projects. Steady above 70% towards the first target of 1,500 euros. I think I can probably upgrade that to 80% pretty soon. My strategy is unchanged and remains to focus primarily on business projects. If you have any questions or comments about this portfolio update, feel free to leave a comment below this video or below the blog post itself. There's a link to the blog article in the show notes, or not show notes, like in the description of this video. So thanks for listening, and I hope you guys have had a great November as well. Ciao.